In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
All right, and we're live. Believe it's also picking you up now, Josh. Say hi, buddy.
Hello.
So, welcome to yet another episode of Secular Media Breakdown. Me and Josh here, we go out of our ways to break down a wide variety of secular media, whether it be through games, movies, shows, music, comics, manga, anime, so on and so forth. The point is, we break down secular media to show people just how close this stuff really actually is to the biblical truth. Whether people realize that initially or not. And today we are covering a pair of cult classics, the Boondock Saints. A pair of movies that is, interestingly enough, it's a comedy action duology, and the general plot is about these brothers who basically feel like they've been influenced by God Almighty to basically take out the trash on the streets after they survive a bar fight that goes into almost one of these brothers getting killed. They're a pair of Irishmen being played by Norman Reedus, who's famous for The Walking Dead, and Sean Patrick Flannery, who's famous for, from my understanding, Young Indiana Jones, something that I may not have watched myself, but I do know was decently popular, and I do at least like Indiana Jones. So maybe something to look at in the future. And you also got in the first movie Willem Dafoe as a FBI agent trying to basically track him down as they keep on killing these gangs. I think it's an engaging concept, despite how, yes, it is more aimed to be a action comedy more than just something to take seriously. But despite that, it really is a very, very engaging story, I find, due to the fact that they clearly are trying to do this because they hate they hate what happens to good people when you have this trash on the streets. On top of the fact that they recently, you see in the beginning of the movie, they received this talk from their church about basically how good people suffer when bad people are not stopped.
Yeah.
And I believe it goes decently far as a message the movie wishes to have up front. And what's interesting is the creator, I won't go in, how he seems to be a really, really, really egotistical douchebag and all that in Hollywood. But from my understanding, uh, the movie was created with no real genuine investment in Christianity to begin with. It just seemed to be an action slash comedy duology where I guess he just felt like maybe it would be interesting to have them be Christians, specifically
Yeah.
Catholics. But it's interesting because they seem to, whether intentionally or not, they're almost taking Christianity a lot more seriously than you would have expected. And due to
Yeah.
that, it's it's one of the most engaging stories I ever watched in movies, to where I actually am engaged in the idea of a third one potentially happening. I mean, what did you think, Josh?
Yeah. I mean, especially with the way the second one ended, I would love to see a third one.
And not only that, like you can say that this is surprisingly deep, despite how they weren't apparently intentionally taking Christianity seriously here. I
Yeah.
mean, because it's probably the most interesting thing about this movie is how much they apparently had no intention of this being uh a how do I put this? Like they had no intention of this being a Christian movie, that's for sure. Especially since both of them are R-rated slash with unrated cuts that definitely are pretty pretty hardcore with some moments of nudity and all that. But
Yeah.
like I feel like I guess it gives the universe that this movie is set in a good bit of realism to it, because they're not
Yeah.
holding back on these concepts being an active thing in life to begin with. And due to that, I got to give respect to uh, the message that this movie is clearly trying to seriously give people. Due to the fact that one thing I will share is that it sounds like the creator was inspired with this story when he was living in an apartment, and there was this woman who was killed, and like a drug dealer went out of his way to loot her body, and like he basically saw what could be considered like some of the worst shit you could see of crime in person, and that definitely would do something to you, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's why I think that it's very engaging what is going on here with the story. And from this point forward, we are probably just going to be, yes, going heavily into spoilers, because let's be real here, secular media breakdown is going to be spoiler heavy due to the fact that we are breaking down certain moments of each story to really show how literally how biblical everything can be, even when not truly intended.
Yeah.
Because let's be real here, there's many moments of revenge full on happening too in the Bible, whether people are intending to be Christians for God in the first place or not. Like, revenge is something that just simply happens in the world. This kind of
Yeah.
story, you see these brothers literally defend this bar of theirs that I'm just gonna be real, has one of the funniest characters in the bartender who has Tourette's.
Yeah.
Like it is way too funny how he's also just mixing and matching proverbs all the time on people.
Yeah. True.
Like he's just all people in glass houses sink ships.
Yeah. Uh,
and and clearly the people at the as his customers are like, we gotta get you a proverb book here. This mixing and matching shit's gotta
uh,
go.
yeah, true.
and
Uh,
uh and basically then you see how these Russian mobsters come in to close down the bar after he tells them that he's probably going to have to close it down. And
yeah.
basically the mobsters started a fight that they let's just be real, didn't finish in their favor.
Yeah.
uh, all to then try
Well,
and come
just
back at the brothers and try to kill one of them on the other, all to basically end up getting killed in self-defense.
yeah.
And it goes out of its way to basically push these two brothers to really think about how how much how much good people suffer from the various crime syndicates out there.
Yeah.
And due to that, they take this pager that was on the body, and the body of the gang member they assassinated, uh,
Yeah.
and they literally end up basically using the pager to help them get new jobs to go after throughout the story.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. It seems like I'm gonna need to be right back. 1 second.
Oh, that's okay.
All right, I'm back. I'm not sure how much longer I'll be able to try and knock this out with you, but uh,
Oh, it's okay.
it's
You
it's
have to go do something?
uh, y- or at the very least, I did already help a good bit. I'm just not sure if I'm gonna need to help through even more here or what. I'm just, I guess, kind of just maybe just shit with planning.
Yeah. And
Point.
things happen. I get it. Hmm?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the very least, I'm kind of trying to find trying to find uh the likes of this charger for my scooter as well. um so I guess to try and at least sum this up somehow, thing is the the strange thing about this really is the fact that they apparently didn't intend for this to be a religious film or anything like that. Yet it ends up kind of almost focusing on it more than you would have expected a movie that wasn't actually trying to focus on such things, you know?
Yeah.
But granted, I guess some people will also be offended at how it isn't exactly a perfect like Christian example through the story or anything like that either, of course. Which is kind of a bit silly when we all know that we've all sinned one way or the other, so it ain't like any of us are perfect like Jesus is, that's for damn sure.
Yeah. That is true.
That being said, the likes of what we have with this story is engaging as they clearly do believe that what they're doing is right for the sake of specifically helping others have a safer excuse me, a safer world out there. And
Yeah.
what's kind of engaging about the plot is how you see the FBI agent who's trying to track down who's pulling off all these assassinations. Um,
Yeah.
he's clearly slowly but surely beginning to feel like what they're doing is right. So he can't even bring himself to just flat out arrest them for what they're doing. He
Yeah.
outright even goes to a priest to ask for guidance, even though he clearly ain't exactly religious himself.
Yeah.
It's so engaging because near the end you practically see the likes of uh these two brothers um lose who was an ally they had from a friendship they had at the bar to somehow finding their father who was hired as a killer to try and take him out, not even knowing the connection till I guess it came down to the family prayer.
Yeah.
And due to that, they even just had the balls to just flat out stop a court hearing with this mob boss who clearly just was acting like, "Oh, I'm just gonna walk away from this. I have nothing to worry about. I'll just continue to talk here and just, stretch it out over shit that has nothing to do with anything because I'm just a smug asshole who thinks I'm just gonna get away from this easily. Like
Yeah.
the villain of that first movie was such an asshole that you definitely definitely wanted to see his moment of really getting a taste of justice finally happening when he was
Yeah.
gonna otherwise walk from that hearing. And it ends up basically just leaving the brothers and also their dad now basically on the run. And in the sequel, you kind of see them come back when they're forced to come out of hiding when a priest gets killed, and it literally goes out of its way to make it look like it's them killing a priest, which is something they would never do. And they clearly are like, oh hell no, we're not gonna just stay here. We're going to deal with this ASAP.
Yeah.
And and then you basically get to the end of the second movie, and they basically ended off on them after they came back to continue their work. They they end up being in prison at the end of it, and there's a side of him that feels like we really do need to get them out of there because uh, it might not end well for them. When, if anything, it's more about how they're gonna whoop everyone's asses in there while they're in there.
Yeah.
uh, but I mean, admittedly, despite how I'm invested in it over the Christian uh the whole fact that Christianity is a part of this story at all. Like I gotta admit, it as a comedy is such a great time with both of them. Like I'll give it a point for not being a sissy like movies these days would be in that freaking opening joke they had with the freaking
Yeah.
meat packaging plant and this freaking girl they're supposed to freaking help get kind of used to her new job, and she fucking
Yeah.
loses it on them the minute they use the term rule of thumb, talking about how it was okay for men to beat their wives with so long as the stick was
His stick
no
was
wider than a
uh,
thumb or some bullshit.
like no wider than the length of their thumb or something like that.
And he's just and one of the brothers is just all, you see that? Can't do much damage with that. Should call it rule of the wrist. And then he gets fucking full on kicked in the balls, and the brother don't give a fuck. He just full on wham, just punches her right out, and that was just, it was messed up, but it was really damn funny, honestly. Uh, in general, though, I can't really say that I particularly like one over the other that much, aside from just uh, the individual things that I will say I prefer. For example, the likes of Rocco in the first movie over Romeo, even though Romeo's still very funny.
Yeah.
Rocco had so many moments in the first movie that was easily some of the funniest moments in the whole series.
Yeah.
Like how he's literally sent to try and assassinate this room full of guys that they just assassinated, and he literally they already know him from the bar, but he's in a fucking hotel room service
Yeah.
outfit, and the name
Yeah.
tag just says Jafar.
Yeah.
and
Jafar.
and literally sent him with a 6-shooter for like 9 or 10
9
guys.
guys. Yeah.
So literally
Yeah.
they were setting the character up, and he then is literally screwed with the minute that he's there with the freaking outfit, thinking
Okay.
he might get killed, all to then just be what the fucking fuck, how did you two fuckers fucking
It's
the-"
perfect.
just
Yeah.
he just goes off hard there, and it's like easily one of the most memeable moments, I'd say, from the whole movie.
Yeah, true.
In general, even just how he goes out of his way to freaking kill these guys who set him up and kill him without really thinking clearly. And how a little bit earlier he ended up accidentally killing his girlfriend's cat or whatever, but his girlfriend's like a druggie or whatever that he's been kind of sick of being taken advantage by or
Yeah.
whatever. Fucking tongue twisters. So in general, it's I gotta just say flat out, there's a lot of racist jokes. If you don't have the stomach to take that and take it all in good fun, it's not for you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean yeah. I mean the when Rocco was telling the Italian mob guy a joke, he used the N-word multiple times.
So let's be real. In
Yeah.
general, if you're not going to be able to have the guts to handle a freaking joke in good fun like that, then you're definitely going to end up hating this, I guess. But it really is a fun time. It's definitely engaging given the concept as well. And due to that, I honestly really do want a third one to come about. But
Yeah.
if we're just rating the two movies, I'd say I could only just rate them both like about a 9 out of 10 for being really damn funny and engaging as also action movies, to where it was better than
Yes.
I thought it was going to be, especially because I just blindly watched it and ended up being all kinds of surprised at what came of it.
Yeah.
I mean, how would you rate them, Josh?
I mean at least a good 7 or 8 out of 10 at least.
Like, because that I'd say is also pretty fair too. I'm kind of more surprised that some people just don't seem to like it, but I think it's because many people these days are a little too sensitive about jokes. So I imagine that a lot of the people trying to give this the movies crap now is mainly because they just can't handle a joke anymore. And to be real, there are definitely plenty of people these days who can't handle just a single joke. So, admittedly, I'm hoping to see that third one in the near future for the simple fact that it's going to be hilarious to see the breakdowns over it. Just being real. And Admittedly, it would be engaging if they even focused a bit further on the biblical truth in a third movie too. Just because it was already kind of engaging how they clearly were they were reached out to by God when they were sleeping in the jail cell there after they survived the gang members trying to kill them. So with that moment, you could kind of, I think, really at least have this gut feeling that they were inspired when they were dreaming. And after all, that's quite often when we are reached out to by God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, thank you guys, and God bless you all.
Yeah.